Hello everyone, this is a short follow-up video to my pumpkin farm I made 2 days ago, and we actually got a more compact design. So after I released the video, some people suggested some other things to make it more compact, and this is what we did. Especially Kaylee helped me a lot with this. So the reason I never tried this thing is I wanted to keep the farmland around the pumpkin plant since it increases the speed. Of course, it's quite obvious. There have been designs with observer wiring before, but with that you lose farmland around the plant. But yeah, in return to that, you get more compact. So I never tried because I thought, farmland must have a huge influence compared to the volume, but it has a lot of influence on the speed, but not enough to not. If you lose it, it's not that bad. So we just have observer wiring here now. As you can see, we only have 3 farmland per plant, and we lose this one behind the plant. So the efficiency per plant is a little bit slower. I also wrote down the numbers here. I stacked up the farm again. It's almost the same size as this one in terms of plants. So this farm produces 43,000 pumpkins per hour, and it's obviously almost 10k less than this one. Even though it has 200 stems more, but it's way more compact. So also the pumpkins per plant per hour is a little bit less. It's 4.4 compared to 5 point something on the other farm. But this is the number that has been improved with this design. So we get 0.382 pumpkins per block per hour, blocks in volume. And on the other one, it was like, we can quickly check, right here, 0.332. So this is quite an increase. Maybe it's less than 10% increase per block, but still we wanted the best design, and that's what we did here. So it's basically the same water layout. So you can just copy that from the other design, same dirt layout, and we just move the pistons in an alternating pattern in one row. So I would say it's even easier to build than this farm because you have less blocks to place. But it also has some disadvantages. For example, it needs a lot of quartz, so it's quite expensive, and need a lot of quartz, and you have to trigger the farm from top to bottom with a 2 game tick difference between the layers to not activate pistons twice. So we don't have the fancy just spiral up with the wiring, but we have to trigger basically all layers at the same time, and just the layers go in a snake pattern like that. And that's because this all these pistons are buttered. Like this jack-o'-lantern powers these 3 pistons. Next one also 3, but it also powers the piston above. And to prevent powering this above, we have to trigger it with a 2 game tick signal. So this will just receive a 4 game tick pulse and won't trigger twice. That's the disadvantage of this farm. But other than that, it's way more compact. As you can see, it's 5 rows next to each other, same as the other one, but just looking from on top, you can already see has been improved quite a lot. In my opinion, I would still build this one in survival. I think it doesn't require any quartz, and it's a little bit more lag friendly, especially on your client, because we have these trapdoors here to activate your observers. And since they changed the hitbox, every time you trigger, your FPS drop down quite a bit. You could replace them with a dropper as well. Then your client performance should improve a lot, but the server performance might suffer a bit. We haven't tested really if it's if the droppers being activated cause a lot of lag, but they shouldn't really, especially in a farm this size, it shouldn't really matter if you use droppers. So if you rather care about your client performance, use droppers here, otherwise use trapdoors. Other than that, it's quite similar, same water layout, everything. Just the activation of the pistons that has changed. And I also some water flowing here, but also the it's not 4 wide tileable, but this time it's 12 wide tileable, and that's because the water is 4 wide tileable and the wiring 3 wide, so it has to be 12 long at least. After you can repeat the pattern again. So this is the smallest you could stack it. And it was quite nice. Kaylee also checked the code again with the farmland and so on, so that's why we came up with this. And also another challenge was to get the lightning in here. So as you can see, now we literally have not a single air block in here. It's water, farmland, pumpkin, everything. There's not a single air block. And we built this thing up and thought, we don't have any light in it. So we first tried to maybe change the water layout, but we didn't succeed. So use end rods in here. But well, before we even started trying around, Kaylee had the idea of using jack-o'-lanterns. It's actually the only block that works here. Yeah, it emits light, but also is a solid block, and that's pretty nice. It's the only block that works. You never think of that block. No one ever uses it, but it has quite special properties. So yeah, that's basically it. Just a short follow-up video. So if you want an even more compact design than this one, and it's easier to build, then go with this one. But as I said, it's quartz, and this is way more survival friendly. Alright, so hope you like it. I think this is the final design now, since we don't have a single air block in this farm. Don't think it can be improved, really. The only thing you could shave off now is the farmland, but that's not really worth it. We also tried around with a different water layout to not have this drop shaft, but only a drop shaft like in length every 8th block. But that also doesn't work since the pumpkins get stuck on this dirt. It has a different height than the farmland, so it also doesn't work. So I think this is the most compact you can do without hopper minecarts. This will be also the last video on pumpkin farms, because, I mean, in my opinion, that's perfect. There are so many different preferences everyone might have, so as I said, I would still build this in survival, even though it's not the most compact. So, whatever. Hope you like it, and see you next time. Bye.